Hey everyone, it's Bradley. Welcome back to my channel, Portly Gentlemen, and welcome to my backyard. Today's video is all about the Even Embers Pellet Chimney. That's this guy right here. It burns pellets. It's absolutely awesome. So first things first, I want to be up front. Even Embers did not send me this for review, although I tried. I actually purchased this with my own money from Tractor Supply. It is exclusively available at Tractor Supply here in the US. I have no idea about other regions. I would definitely reach out to Even Embers, let them know Bradley said that you should ask where you can get this guy. So first part of the video, we're gonna jump right into how to build it. Building it is kind of tricky, so stay tuned for that. Research it, mash it, boil it, ferment it, drink it, analyze it, share it. Home brewing is good. Here's the box. This is a picture of Even, or I'm not sure if it's Embers, but look at those New Balance. You know he's comfortable. This is the specifications of the unit listed on the box. If you want to check it out, pause the video. Getting into the box, you will find that this is packaged extremely well. It does create a lot of debris and a lot of trash. Tractor Supply does offer a build service. I have no idea how much that costs or what's involved, but honestly, just for the amount of crap I had to break down, I might want to go that direction. But again, I'm going to show you real quick. It's not that hard to build it. There is stuff packed everywhere. Mine was packed extremely well. Nothing was damaged or dented, no broken glass or anything like that. We are going to start with the legs. These are the screws that you need to build all the components that aren't assembled. So the legs go on the corners, and I used a screwdriver to get stuff started. I actually wound it up going back and tightening everything up with a socket wrench, and I just went around. I kept the legs loose throughout the process. These are what those screws look like kind of up close, and that's all 4 legs. Again, they are loose because there's also 4 side gussets or brackets. The front one has the star, and I put them in these holes here. It's black on black, so it's really hard to get a vantage point here in the studio. Difficult to film, but you get the idea. Again, leave all these points loose and then tighten it up once you're done. With just a socket, makes it a lot easier. I don't advise an impact or anything like that. And the back of it is the only one that's different. This one here, it has the bolts for the tray as well as the insert for the tray. So you want to get those 2 lined up. Those are the guide rails for the ashtray. You definitely need to install those. The ashtray is, you got to throw it in. Start the bolts by hand. It's slightly fiddly, but not impossible. Didn't have any issues crossed or anything with the project. I got these tight with a screwdriver and called that good enough. There's that tray ready for the firebox to be installed. Next up, we're going to look at the firebox. Now this thing is going to take a lot of wear and a lot of heat, and it is heavy duty. It also has this built-in ash rake or rake to kind of help keep stuff clean. I find this to be awesome. It really does the job. When you put it in, it's a little tricky. You want to put the front down first like I am here, then click it under that feed chute, and you'll see how that goes in. This is the outer surround, kind of helps contain the fire. That guy just snaps into place. All right, it's nearly time to start a fire. This is the business end, all ready to go. Next up, I'm installing the control handle for that ash rake. You just push it in until you feel the threads and screw it in tight. It's pretty simple. Here's the ash pan. It slides right in, fits like a dream. Next, it's time for the top chimney. The chimney isn't very long, but mine, I kind of had to squeeze it and press it to get it to go on there. It wasn't perfectly round. It wasn't a big deal. You can see it now. I have it on there. Line up the holes, and you are ready to throw some bolts in it. The bolts I started with a screwdriver, then I tighten them up with a ratchet just to make sure this guy wouldn't come apart. It's going to be subjected to a lot of heat, so you may have to retorque it later. The lid is super easy, or the top cap, not really a lid, but it just sits on top of there. The same process. Throw the screws in or the bolts, tighten them by hand or with a screwdriver, and then torque them down with a wrench, and you are good to go. We're getting towards the finish line here. I screwed on the handle for the adjuster. This actuates the high and low function within the fire chamber itself. The last thing I'm gonna throw on is this handle. It's just a couple more of those nuts and bolts. Get it nice and tight, and this is the handle for the pellet popper itself. It goes on super easy. Even Embers actually did send me this cover for free. I did forget to kind of mention that, but there's the cover. It does a good job of protecting it from the element. So you first start it, you pull this lever and this opens a gate. The hoppers fall into the burn chamber. I'm using a tumbleweed starter. You can use lighter fluid. That's honestly what I use. Takes a few minutes and it's in low. You see that flapper in that low position holding that feed down. It takes it a few minutes to get going, but when it gets going, believe me. It puts off a ton of heat. So the ignition process is really, really simple. Here we are picking up a little bit more speed. Right now, I'm gonna show you the actuation of the ash rake as well as the high-low function. You can see that. And I'm also gonna go into what happens if you kind of overfeed it or overfill it, you can get some smoke. So we'll jump right in and I'll tell you how to avoid that. So that's how you build it. But what does this thing do? Obviously it's a heater and it gets extremely warm. I have it right now on high. I have it on high because, well, it looks good on video. It does hog through a little bit more pellets, but these pellets are readily available and you can honestly pick them up anywhere. And what this does for my space out here, my outdoor living space, is the ambiance. Whether you're reminiscing about a beer you got at HomebrewCon and you met some good friends for the first time in person and wishing you could go back, or just enjoying a party with your friends and family, this will absolutely keep you warm in that real, live, natural fire, because it's natural pellets. And hold on, I need a drink. Like I said, pellets are all natural, available anywhere. The ambiance it brings to my backyard, it will smoke from time to time. I'm not a channel here or a reviewer that's just gonna say it's 100% perfect when it's not. Some pellets will affect feeding differently in my experience. I've had it for about a month now. So keep that in mind. Also, moisture content in your pellets will affect that as well, but the smoke isn't bad. I'll show you right now, sped up slightly. If you should go from the low setting where you pull the back flapper in and out to adjust to high and low, it will smoke potentially for a few minutes. It's not bad, don't be alarmed. Definitely don't open the firebox because that will kind of, that updraft from that bottom grill down there, that firebox intake, it will affect that. So just be patient, it will stop smoking. In my mind, it's definitely worth it. This guy retails for 300 bucks. Again, only available at Tractor Supply, and I'm enamored with it. It's hot right now, but for what it does for the space out here, for the backyard, it's awesome. I'm gonna throw in some night footage here. Please excuse me, I'm not used to filming in the dark, but in the dark it works really, really well. Obviously good light, good heat, and it's super awesome. This guy with its compact height, it's relatively kind of round like me, but it's nowhere near as tall as me, obviously, right? But this is honestly ideal, I think, for a seated area where all that heat is lower. Some other heaters and stuff are gonna have heat up high. I believe Even Embers also makes an outdoor heater that's more upright. I'd love to try that out. So if you guys are curious about that product and want me to look at it, let me know and I'll see what I can do. All right, so that's it. Obviously I like it. I wanted to share it. It's not my typical genre of product, but man, if you're enjoying a beer outside or a cocktail or a drink or ice water for that matter, because it's so damn hot, I really think it is worth it, and it is absolutely awesome. I've been Bradley. I'll see you real soon.